And big thanks to Evan Grant for helping out with this segment. He put out an article, and I want to go through some of the plausibility of probably most of these, if not all of these. We'll see how fast we can go. 26 ways the Rangers can improve in 2026. Now, later today, they're going to have a press conference to introduce McKenzie Gore, and we're hoping that we're going to have a one-on-one with him after that, maybe around 1:40. All right, let's start. Number one, can you guess what the number one way for the Rangers to continue to improve is?
Hit better. Kevin, there was a great Mike Maddox used to say, pitch better, and that was the defining moment for all of the Rangers pitchers in the world. But all they have to do is hit better. That would be the way to go about it.
Now,
your thoughts?
I agree with all of that, but Evan Grant is going the route of Chris Jung and saying
pitching's more important.
Pitching is all that really matters to start. Jacob deGrom stays healthy. With what he can do, staying healthy feels like that's the battle, and his pitching will take care of the rest.
Yeah, look, man. I've been a little tough on some of the pitches that went out of the park last year because I looked at the numbers and I was like, that's more than I'm used to with him.
Don't you think he would be too?
Yeah, and was it fastballs that Boch told us was when most of those were going out of the park too, and he was like, that's all right, it's his other stuff that really gets you out. But yeah, when he is healthy, he's the best pitcher on your team. And I know we love Eovaldi, and Jacob deGrom's a different type of dude. Actually, we got two dudes that you really love.
Yeah, no, you're right. Look, and let's talk about Nathan Eovaldi. Last year, started 22 games. Step number 2 in improving this team. Nathan Eovaldi needs 5 more starts than a year ago. Consider this. In the last 3 years, when Eovaldi pitches, the Rangers win 62% of their games. When anybody else pitches, they win 49% of their game. So if you can get him to pitch 5 more starts, that alone should improve your record by 3 games.
Okay. When I watch the two of those pitchers pitch, deGrom is your Ferrari, your Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And I think that when I look at Nathan Eovaldi, he's your Platinum Chevy ZR71 or ZR2. He's just an absolute beast. And I think there's something about when the teammates see him step on the mound, they have a belief.
I agree in
that. With deGrom, they're like, dude, this is going to be so much fun. And I think with Eovaldi, they're just like, watch this dude battle. I'm going to battle like him today. And so I think there's something about that mindset whenever those two guys are on the mound.
McKenzie Gore.
Heard of him.
We just talked about him. Potential guest later in the show. He gets a lift from Globe Life Field. Now, Globe Life Field, although it is still a newer park, it has shown a propensity to favor lefties in general, and lefty fly ball guys even more, like Andrew Heaney. McKenzie Gore is a left-handed fly ball pitcher. He'll also have a better defense behind him. I don't know why I said it like that. And so could better defense and just the general dimensions and favorability of the park naturally make him an even better pitcher who a lot of people think he's on the upswing already.
Can I ask you a question about the defense real quick? Marcus Semien is a very good defensive player.
He is.
He's no longer on the team. Do you feel like your defense is going to be just as good?
No, because, you took out Adolis Garcia, too, and he's a fantastic defender.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point there. Now, Nemo's a good defensive player. He hustles hard, too. I think you're going to get some good play out of him there. You're going to have a pretty good defense. But, how often did we talk last year, Kevin, about why is your defense so good with Boch? And he would say, I think the work that these coaches do with these guys, some of them aren't there anymore. Hopefully the standard for it has been set by the players, and that doesn't change.
And I know we go back to this. It's when we go through the reasons to improve, that's the thing that's so terrifying is your defense was very good last year. Your pitching was all-time for this franchise, and you finished 500.
Yeah.
So that's what I keep thinking about. Like, what if your pitching and your defense slips whatsoever? Like, that is scary. Now,
but one thing about Gore, too, he does get lots of whiffs. So, like, in addition to his fly ball ability, he can get those to go along with a good defense.
I think this is the biggest if on the list, okay? Joc Pederson gives the Rangers 90% of the production they thought they were going to get when they signed him. So let's take a look
90%?
at the season. 90%. I mean,
how much do you think we got from him last year?
5%.
5?
That's probably rude.
I was going to
20%.
Okay, I was going to say 19.
Okay, yeah, he had one of the worst seasons in the history of modern baseball for a pseudo everyday player. He played himself out of being an everyday player because of how terrible he was. But yeah, Joc Pederson had one of the worst seasons in modern baseball last year for the Rangers. But let's take a look at what he did the year before. So theoretically, what the Rangers might have thought that they were getting. And then Evan Grant made it easier by saying, look at the 4 seasons before where he had an 836 OPS. If you can get an OPS of 800 out of Joc Pederson, well,
you've won the day.
Go, man.
Yeah, you've won the day.
And then a batting average that would put him at around 230 on the batting average.
You just want him to be decent.
Hey, look, and if you're like, 230 is not good, keep in mind, that's 50 points better than his batting average last year. 50!
That hurts.
Yes.
That was a bad start, man.
It was a bad start.
So having him be decent
yes,
is something that we
I will say, if you get to 800 OPS, I'm pretty jazzed up about that. I think that's definitely better than decent. Of the things we've listed so far, does this feel like the biggest reach?
I mean, just because of what we saw.
Yeah.
I know there's something there, but it takes the work to do it, and I don't know if he's willing to work that hard this year.
That's a good question. Now, if that's not the biggest reach, this might be the next biggest reach. I appreciate swinging for the stars. Corey Seager needs to play at least 135 games. Something that he has done once with the Rangers. But let's take it further. Now, I know it's kind of not fair with 2020 because he was playing a lot of games in 2020 compared to the COVID schedule. But he has played 135 games or more once since 2017. Got really close in 2019, 134, and quite frankly, that would be just fine with me. But he played 151 games his first year with the Rangers. Since then, he's averaging about 115 games. So you need about 10 games more 20 games more. Good at math. From Corey Seager. What do you think about the likelihood of that?
I just can't. I can't go put a $10 or $12 bill on it. I would put a $2 bill on it. That's about it.
Okay.
But I think we were kind of at a point after the World Series where, like, anytime we can have Seager on the field, we're happy.
Yeah.
And now it's like, hey, we really need you to be productive with this thing. You're essential to us cracking over 500. And so I want it to happen. I just don't think it will.
All right, let me ask you this. I want to know, which do you think is more likely and which would you prefer? Joc Pederson at 90% of what the Rangers thought they were signing, or Corey Seager plays 135 games?
Pederson.
Man, you answered that so fast.
Yeah, because I feel like that can help balance some things out a lot more. Seager, I feel like I know what I'm going to get whenever he is on the field. Here's one thing I don't know. Because he is the type of player he is, and sometimes these are tissue issues with him, soft tissue, are they afraid to push him hard, or is it smart to not push him hard? Just be like, all right, man, whenever you get back.
I feel like I default to the second one.
Like, because there are some people that are like, screw it, I'm gonna play through this no matter what. And Corey Seager's like, why would I do that? I mean, this could even screw up even more for us and me being in the playoffs. Like that's kind of maybe he's tougher than I think. Maybe there is stuff that he plays through, and this is like, no, this is the one thing I can't do. Now, but pushing him seems to be something that, like, I get it. He's a powerful player on your team.
Now, these next two, I have optimism about. Are you ready? Here we go. Josh Jung shows more discipline when ahead in the count. I want you to consider this. He has a 720 OPS when ahead in the count. That is the second worst in all of Major League Baseball last year. Because, like, theoretically, 720 OPS, you're like, yeah, all right, that's fine. But when you're ahead in the count, that is really bad. And then let's take it a step further. When ahead in the count, he was in the top 15th percentile of swings and bottom 5 percentile of slugging percentage. I almost said struggling percentage. He has not played well this last season or two when ahead in the count. I believe that can change.
There's this, when he is up at the plate, I feel like he's like, if I miss that pitch, like that was the end of the world that I didn't swing at that strike, instead of being like the next one's coming. And when he's ahead in the count, the discipline to be like, it's got to be the right pitch. We talk with Mike about this a lot, and that is that strike zone's got to be the size of your fist
right
when you're ahead in the count.
Right.
And then when you start getting, it expands a little more, but you got to make sure that you're ahead, you can be on base. And being on base is a lot better than you striking out or popping one up. I understand we want a home run from you, but man, unless it's that pitch, you shouldn't be swinging at it. And there are too many times. Juan Gonzalez was if it was a right-handed pitcher, just throw the curveball outside. You got Juan Gonzalez. You're going to get him down low and away. And Josh Jung has similar moments where you're just like, if you would have just on that one, you'd be on base right now.
Now, this question...
But I think that can't happen if you can rewire his mind into his approach.
This question came in, 877-881-1053, Frankel and Frankel Injury Attorney text line. Are you not worried about second base? I am very worried about second base, and that leads us to Josh Smith. Josh Smith / in the second half as an everyday second baseman. 225 batting average and 650 OPS. And you've seen it for the last 2 years. The last 2 years, he has fallen off an absolute cliff in the last 2 months of the season. And so, yes, I am very worried. I know people are worried about injuries. People are worried about the closer. I think I continue to circle back around to second base as being my primary worry for this team, because I don't see how you can say it's going to be Josh Smith.
Okay, let's then say for every 2 games that Josh Smith plays, Cody Freeman plays 1.
Okay. It's probably going to have to be like that.
I would try to balance it out in that way, shape, or form. Like Marcus Semien, Iron Man, consistent. He's going to be there. You felt like the production was there for a lot of time, but you got frustrated at some points too. But I think I would be willing to put him as the lead second baseman and have somebody else filling in with it and being that utility player that can rotate around. It's, Kevin, honestly, a lot of what Josh Smith can be, because you can do that. However, your shortstop and his injury concerns, your third baseman and his injury concerns at times, those two things end up screwing up the whole infield plan, because you're like, I had a rotation in mind, but I couldn't do it because this guy had to take over for 30 games.
Now, you'll probably see where this is going as a setup, but August and September in 2024 and 2025, so that's 4 months. Do you know how many months Josh Smith had a batting average above 220?
1?
It's none.
Okay.
Do you know how many of those months he had a OPS above 600?
None.
Exactly. And those are shockingly low numbers. Like, those aren't even acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, let's say it was 220 and 600 OPS. You'd be like, oh, that's terrible. He hasn't even gotten up to those points. So, yes, whether you want Freeman, whether you want Duran, whatever the rotation looks like, you got to have something, because Josh Smith is a great player in the first half of the season. Or my other radical idea, honestly, I'm sure Josh Smith would hate this, but maybe you just ride that first half wave and then you thank him for his service and tell him he will go back to potentially being a bench or utility player.
I think you ride that wave until you see kind of hey, we're starting to hit that blip, and then you start your rotation. Or maybe, again, you start your rotation, roll with that the entire way. Or maybe just save him for the playoffs. Don't let him play all season, and then he's a playoff guy.
Look, if you tell
that's ridiculous.
If you tell me we made the playoffs, great. I don't know how he will feel about this or about that. All right, Evan Carter. How many games?
67.
Is that what you would really put it at? How many games would you guys put the over-under on Evan Carter playing this year?
I feel like it's 95.
Okay. Alec?
I was thinking like 90.
See, and I think even those, I would be like, hey, good job.
His highest is 63.
Oof. So you need Evan Carter to play 2/3 of the season. That laugh is not encouraging.
I hope so.
That would be 108 games. He's averaged 44 games per season. Now, here is the part that is so damn frustrating about all of that. Although that's probably not fair, because in 2023, you're never counting on him to be there for the entire season. So, but even if you just take the last 2 years when you're like, hey, let's see what you got. He averages 54 games per season. But you know what's so maddening about that is he's on pace to be a 5-WAR player. And so you're like, damn it. That's a heck of a player. Mm-hmm. But we can't get you out there for more than 1/3 of a season. Can we get 2/3 of a season? And then this one I also think is reasonable. Higashioka and Danny Jansen combined to give the Rangers 145 starts at catcher, and they combined for 25 home runs. I think that's reasonable
I like it.
as a combination because, last year only 8 teams got more home runs from the catching position. So I think that would be a reasonable expectation.